My name is Jason. I'm here for Daily Dose of Hope Day 356. Excuse me. Nice to meet you and nice to see you again. So a Daily Dose of Hope is just that. It's an attempt to find that middle place. We have already noticed we are in a very polarized time. You know that you're in a polarized time when you can say specific words and people will fly off the handle. I know, being the age that I am, I grew up in the 80s, and at that time there were very few words. In fact, I don't think there were any words that you could use that would make people fly off the handle. So you were free to talk about a whole range of subjects. So I'm aware, I've lived through a time where it wasn't polarized, so I can really tell the difference. And I know that everything started becoming polarized around 2001, and that's actually when I first came to Japan. But after the World Trade Center incident, that's when everything changed. The whole kind of America changed a bit, and so at the moment that was the first step, and then it was building and building and building, and now it's very, very polarized. And as you can tell, in conversations with people, even in your neighborhood, in your jobs, in your families, these past few years have been very polarized. People are one side or the other, and they will not meet in the middle. So what the Daily Dose of Hope is about finding that middle path. Yeah, we're all here together. We're all human. Well, most of us are human, and we're made of love, and we're here to find love. We're here to bring love. We're here to bring hope. And so in these polarized times, the best thing you could do is just go into the middle path. Follow your own peace. Follow your own heart. What is your heart telling you to do? Your heart usually is not saying, jump into the realm of everything, jump into the fight. It's usually saying, oh, let's, what kind of ice cream should we have today? You know what? I just want to sleep this whole day, and that's what I'm going to do. These kind of things. That's what your heart is telling you. Your mind or your ego is saying, yeah, we got to go out there. We got to fight. We got to take this, So, and it's up to you which you're going to listen to, but what I prefer is listening to the heart, and the heart will bring you to this little neutral path for the most part. And if it takes you somewhere else, that's fine as well. But listen to your heart, Now, the neutral path, this middle path, is the only pathway out of the third dimension, because it shows that we understand the third dimension. We understand the yin and yang, that there's perfect balance between the two, and that for us to jump on one side or the other would be to misunderstand the whole idea. The whole idea is that these two sides are playing out, and they're playing out in the most perfect way. They're dancing in the most perfect way imaginable, and they're both serving each other to create this dynamic world that we live in. Without it, we wouldn't have this amazing third dimension that we have. And these ups and downs and all of these emotions, this happiness and sadness and anger and fear and all of these different things, they wouldn't exist without this structure. But if we want to move away from this structure, we have to understand the structure itself. And understanding it means going into the middle path. The middle path means we do understand it. So in that sense, we've kind of mastered this idea. We understand. So we're not jumping into the emotions. We see the emotions that are there. We feel them. We can't block our emotions. So we see the emotions. We let them pass through us like a wave, and we understand them. This is what's happening now. Sometimes the emotions might knock us down, and we just get back up again. Sometimes we jump right into the fray, and then we just get back into the middle path. That's another aspect of this yin and yang at the moment, is that they are so polarized. This, for me, in my experience in my life, so I'm just speaking from my experience, this is the most polarized I've ever experienced it in my life. And so it's very, very polarized. And the guides have said that that is happening on purpose. The polarization is so strong that all of us would rather spend our time in the neutral path, because it's just hard to exist in these polarities. It's too painful. There's too much going on. There's too much of a roller coaster of emotions. So it's better for us to just go back into that neutral path and just, take a walk, eat some ice cream. Yeah. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm a big fan of ice cream, especially soft serve ice cream, which they have really good stuff here in Japan. They have really good soft serve ice cream. So that's what A Daily Dose of Hope is about. And I've been coming on for almost a year now because the guides told me that this energy would be picking up, and it sure is. So, and this is my site. I offer spiritual guidance sessions where I bring in my guides and your guides, and you can ask your questions, and they will answer. I'll channel the answers. I have 3 different flavors of sessions here, and 1 question, 30-minute, 60-minute, and testimonials are below. I also have these offerings here. So I have a group that you could join, and it's like a little family feeling group, kind of get together and bring your questions, and then I channel the answers. And with this, when you join, you also get all of the archives. So about, here it is. The archives are all here. About 50 hours of archived channeling and about 30 sound baths, all dating back to 2023 up to 2025. So that's my offerings. I also have a mug that I've created with the phrase, love has already won, you just haven't noticed yet. And so that's what I got. And yeah. So what I wanted to talk about today, I think, is a bit of oops, I don't know what happened with that thing. There you go. You get a whole bunch of them. What I wanted to talk about today, though, was a little bit of a risque thing, I think, but somehow it popped up in my mind, and I'm going to just go into it. And so here we go. So, there's something that I've read about, and it's called sacred prostitution. Now, this is something that happened throughout the ancient world in many different, so it was in the Near East, in Sumer, Babylonia. All of these, the Hittites did it, Phoenicians did it, even ancient Israel did it, ancient Greece, temples of Aphrodite. But something I was thinking about today was I'd read this a while ago, and this is about, so according to Herodotus is supposedly, we don't really know about these things if they're true, a Roman historian where we got a lot of our history from. It's always important to question the historians because you have to wonder where they got their funding from, and usually if their history has existed for so long, then this is the history that the world wants us to know. But the reason that I'm bringing this up today is it just popped into my mind. I was thinking about, there's a person in the news, and I'm just not going to go into names and stuff like that, but there's I'll just say it. So it's not the name, but what I'm talking about. So PORN, or I'll just call it prawn. Prawn is prevalent in our society. It's all over the place. It's everywhere. And it's very, very easy for people to access it, right, on the internet. It's just everywhere. And there aren't really any, it's like no holds barred kind of thing. And there's a lot of prawn here as well in this country. And what prawn is it's a way of taking your energy. So that energy that you have, your sacral energy, is very powerful. And if you focus that energy on something, on an image, it's kind of like, in that sense, idol worship. In that sense, you are giving this sacred energy to this image, and this image is not just the image that you're seeing, but it represents a whole network of images and a whole network of things that are happening in the background. I would say that I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna wager a guess that many of the people that are involved in it don't want to be involved in it, and that they didn't have a choice whether or not they were involved in it. So that is also a thing, that when you send your energy to it, you are supporting that system. That is a system that is very strong. So not only is it you're giving your that sacred energy, but you're also supporting a system that takes people's freedoms away from them. And so on our planet, even if we don't know what we're doing. That this is why it's so important on our world at the moment to know what we're doing. So if we are engaging in looking at those sorts of things or giving our energy to those things, that is what we're giving our energy to. And maybe it doesn't look that way on the surface, but that is where all the energy goes. And your energy is very, very, it's a very, very important thing on this planet. And when you do that, you are investing your energy into that system. Even if you don't think that you support that system, by investing your energy into it, that's what's happening. And so I feel it's kind of like a risque thing to talk about, but it just seemed fitting today. In my meditation, it kind of popped up. And that what occurred to me, though, is this Babylonian thing, this... there's a custom, I probably shouldn't read the whole thing either, but there's a custom in this old Babylonian religion, in the temple, they sit in the temple of Aphrodite, where a woman she has no choice, she has to go into this temple at least once in her life, and she has to give herself away. And someone will give her money and she has to give herself away. And that everyone has to do that, and it's just part of the religion, right? And that kind of reminded me of that. And then they also say this. They have a phrase that they say, "I invite you in the name of this woman." I'm not even going to say it out loud. So yeah, there you go. And so yeah, basically, so they're giving that energy to whoever this person is, right? And Sumerian, goddesses, whatever you want to say, aliens, interdimensional beings, whatever you want to call it. But I really think that any religion that takes away our free will, that we have to do this, something that we don't want to do, but we have to do it for this religion. I personally disagree with. It's just my personal feeling, as we have free will on this planet. But I think for me, I find a direct connection to this religion and the prawn that I'm talking about. I'm using the code word prawn. I actually do like prawns. So actually, the prawn, the food, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, so this is something I know that this is not just here. I know there are many different religions that had that in the past. What I wanted to do today, though, is I wanted to kind of ask about that. Could they give us any heads up about what is actually going on with all this stuff, with prawns and with this connection? I mean, I have a pretty good idea that, it's basically, if you're not going to use your energy, if you don't know where your energy is going, it's going to go, someone else is just going to use it. And that's how our society is set up. When we're forced to work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. We're forced to go, start work during rush hour. We have to get to work through when it's really crowded and everyone's just pushing and everyone's in a bad mood, and or everyone's just stuck in traffic and no one's happy. And then you have to go in rush hour, and then you have to come back during rush hour, and so it's all kind of set up so that you're in a state of you're not very happy. It's not like a good time. Like, if you could just go maybe an hour later, then things would be much better. If everyone would just for every company or every business would just kind of work together and figure out the best time. Okay, we'll start this time, you start this time. There would be no rush hour, but no, everything has to start at the same time. And we're taught that from school. We always go to school, at the same time, finish school at the same time. 9 to 5 is that's changed a lot as well. But rush hour is rush hour, and it's always rush. Everyone's rushing. And so that's the idea that, of our lives, 9 to 5, and we're working, and then we don't get a lot of free time. And then even when the weekends come, you're so beat, you're so tired out from all the work that it's hard to follow your dreams, to follow your heart. And so you're kind of, what's the word? There's a genre of music that I actually kind of like sometimes. It's called beatdown. And it really kind of summarizes that feeling. It kind of has that kind of punk, hardcore feeling from the 90s, early 90s kind of feeling about it. But that's, yeah. And you can really relate to it sometimes, that just beat down feeling. And so, yeah, but that's where our energy goes. And, you know, a lot of times we don't really have a choice. We can't even see a way out most of the time. But that's where visioning comes in. But yeah, but I wanted to kind of channel a bit about this and see if they could share or give us some insight into, you know, what's going on with this prawn stuff and how it's related. So, and Keone, hello. You say, do you know Sophia Dragons? Well, actually, I'm going to channel about the prawns today. Sophia's Dragons. No, I don't know about Sophia Dragons. All right, so here we go. Greetings, we are the one that you know of as Yeshua. And what we would first like to bring forward to all of you is that you are in a time. You are in a specific time, a very specific time on your planet, where everything that has been hidden will be revealed. And many of you know this already. And so the most important thing when you are seeing all of these different things is to remember that it isn't what is being revealed that is important. What is important is where you are in your heart and where you are in your mind. That is the most important thing, because many of the things that will be revealed will change your entire belief system. Everything that you have held as a belief might be destroyed. It might fall apart. Everything that you believe might fall apart. But it's important that your belief is just your belief. Your belief is not you. You're not made of beliefs, although many of you believe that you are made of belief. But no, you are made of love. And love can never fall apart. Love is perfect. You are all made of love. So understand this, that when you are seeing all of these things, understand that you are grander than this. You are grander than your emotional body, than your mental body. You are the body of love. So what we would tell you is that all of the things that are being revealed in that sense are illusions to you, because you don't even exist in this realm. Your true self, it doesn't exist in this realm. You are made of love, and you are having experiences here, but you're not really here. You're here, but you're not here. You're just passing through. Your consciousness is inhabiting this body. Your love is animating this scene for you to experience. So all of the things that you are seeing, no matter how disturbing they might be, no matter how much they might pull you out of your peace, understand that they're all there for you, and they cannot affect you. You cannot be affected by information, by words, by events. You are love incarnate. You live forever. Your soul is eternal. So understand that when you see these things that are playing out on the world stage, or on even in your personal stage, when you see all of these things, remember that your belief system might fall apart, your emotions might fall apart, but you will never fall apart. You're made of love, and you cannot fall apart. This is a very important thing to remember in these times. And what we would say about what this being termed prawn, we like that word, prawn. It's a wonderful way of saying it. What we would say about this is that yes, these things exist. And the reason that they do is to train you with your energy, so that you understand how powerful your energy is. Without these shadows on your planet, you would never learn this. You would never truly understand how powerful you are until you see that someone is trying to take away your power. And then you say, hey, that's my power. What are you doing with that? And once you start to notice how these things work, they stop working. So that is another point to what we'd like to bring today, is that once you see with your light eyes, once you see the system, how these systems work, they stop. working. And that's what is happening now. All of the systems are being revealed so that you can turn them off with your awareness that they exist. And that is what this is. And so, as this being said, yes, there are many things that work in shadow. And this is one of them. And many of your religions as well work in shadow. And that is what we would bring forward today. But understand that the shadows help you to understand your light. They help you to understand your love. They give more description. They enhance the angles so that you can see better. The contrast of the picture is brought up so that you can see the picture better, so that you can understand everything that is happening around you. And that is what is happening around you. This is one of the many things that will be revealed. And so when you look across your society and you see these things happening, ask yourself, is this what you want to see in your world? Is this what you want to see more of or less of? And understand that you all have complete and utter free will to do as you wish. But we would say that what you wish for is what you get as well. So when you put your energy into things such as prawn, which is, as this being said, is dealing with taking people's freedom away, of putting people in a very, very low vibration. It is a slavery, a modern form of slavery. And if that is something that you put your energy into, then you also will become a slave to this energy. Ooh. I got it talking down from. So, all right, guys. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Again, I think I'm taking a little break from the pockets of peace, but the pockets of pieces that we've already created are already out there, and they're kind of just all you need to do is just remember that they keep going out there. And so I hope you guys are hopeful, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. And as they say, go beach. All right, so ciao for now.